Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. It seems that the £700 million bribe to get Britain driving electric cars is starting to fall apart already. Many people from all over are saying, no, it's wrong. The taxpayer should not be subsidising people who can, or subsidising people to buy these cars, particularly as the people who are buying them tend to be the better off. What you're doing is you're taxing everybody so that the wealthy can get the better cars, these electric cars. Oh dear, not exactly the Labour way. Surely, if electric cars were the answer, electric cars would be flying off the shelves like hotcakes. But they're not. Why not? Why don't people want them? Why don't people want to buy something that's hideously expensive and that depreciates at such a massive rate? It's a mystery, isn't it? And of course, we're beholden to China because China own all the materials that go into making them. And of course, China wants to destroy the European car manufacturing base by flooding the market with cheap, shitty Chinese cars that wouldn't pass muster if they were made in Britain or in Europe anywhere, because their safety record is a bit, well, rough, to say the least. And so there are people like the Taxpayers Alliance who are calling this out and saying no. The Conservatives who are saying no. There's even people in the backbenches of the Labour Party saying this 700 million could be spent elsewhere and spent better, particularly on those at the bottom, people who are suffering, people who need the most direct help, rather than helping those at the top who've got plenty of money already and who just want to buy a nice flash electric car a bit cheaper. That's great, isn't it? Go get yourself a new electric Mercedes and the government will give you a big whack of money off it. Super, isn't it? So all these people are saying no. And yet here's the problem. They've given this promise that all pure petrol and diesel cars will stop being made in Britain and not allowed to be sold in Britain after 2030, and that even the hybrids and that can't be sold after 2035. Excellent, if it wasn't for three minor problems. One, power supply. We haven't got a national grid that's capable of transferring energy. Two, energy. We're not generating enough in order to supply the power for all these cars. And three, power banks. Where the hell are we charging them? They're supposed to be putting in these little power stations everywhere, and they can't. And they still haven't come up with the problem of how do you charge cars in terraced homes or high-rise blocks. It's a bugger, isn't it? Because anything that isn't powered directly off your own home costs more to run than a petrol car. Yes, unbelievable, but true. On top of that, of course, other infrastructure problems, such as multi-storey car parks, they're struggling now because of the weight of these vehicles. Parliament itself has banned electric vehicles from its underground car park on the basis of safety issues. Then there's safety issues. They keep blowing up. There's all sorts of problems, and people just don't want them. And yet the government seems to keep pushing on because they think that making Britain take these on is going to change and save the world, which of course it isn't. Not while China and India are pumping out so much shit. If you truly want to save the world, stop buying stuff from China. Let it go back to being an agrarian economy, and that way the world can take a breath. Ho hum, isn't it wonderful? What to do? Well, it isn't going to matter. There's already exemptions going out, and people are going to be carrying on making, and you can buy electric and internal combustion engines well beyond 2040 now. For example, the government have said that government vehicles are exempted. They can still be petrol and diesel engined for, quote, security reasons, and then they're going to allow exemptions for other people for, quote, security concerns. So if you're the chairman of a company and a big international or something, well, your personal safety is important, so you can have an internal combustion engine. That doesn't sound very fair, does it? And so, again, it's going to fail on that. And also the fact that the military are going to continue using diesel-engined vehicles. And so are delivery drivers in their big lorries, because electric lorries just aren't a thing and never can be. The amount of batteries needed would put them so far overweight, the roads would crumble. They hadn't thought of that when they came up with this bright idea. And so for many, many years, 100 years perhaps, Diesel lorries will still pound the way round, as indeed will diesel buses, another problem they haven't sussed out. So, yeah, all these problems, and it's going to have to be reversed. So all this 2030, blah, 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 ain't going to happen. What a shame. But that's the trouble, isn't it? They have these bright ideas, but they don't look at the bigger picture. Now, all they've got to do is find about 100 billion to try and upgrade the national grid. But this is Britain, so it's going to be 250 billion, isn't it? £250 billion. And it's not going to take the 20 or 30 years. It's going to take 50 years. After all, the national grid's about 130 years old, something like that. And it's not fit for purpose anymore. And when are we going to get the 36 power stations, nuclear power stations, that we need just to power the cars if every car in Britain was electric? Nobody knows. It's going to take a long time. So again, it's a non-starter. Oh dear. If only we'd stop electing morons who have shitty ideas and think that anything Britain does is going to make a iota of a difference. Because it clearly isn't. Thanks very much. Bye.